Hey guys, what it do? What's up? Welcome back to another video by your girl. If you are new to this channel, hi, I'm Lerato Seromola, aka Lee Seromola. You know what to do, honey. Like, comment, subscribe, join the family. Guys, I'm so cringe. But anyway, today I am not gonna be doing anything light. I'm gonna be talking about something rather serious, but I'm not gonna be making it too serious, guys. But it is something that I have experienced through almost half of my life. So yeah, not even gonna try blabbing too much so that the video isn't too long. So let's get right back into it. All right. Okay guys, I'm having Powerade because girl, I had been to go Wisha this week and I've just been overdosing on this to just get some sort of energy in me. But anyway, yeah, today I'm gonna be talking about mental illness and mental health as a concept, mainly dealing with it and the experience thereof. So yeah, I'm gonna try not ramble too much. I'm really gonna try not ramble too much and just get to the point. I made a list of things to talk about regarding it and my own experiences. So yeah, without further ado, triggers. I think that's the first thing I'm going to talk about and how it gets there. So I'm just going to first explain the concept of it: mental health, depression, anxiety, sadness, and just feeling down for no reason sometimes and having triggers. Sometimes they are triggers, sometimes they aren't, and sometimes, and people don't really understand that sometimes umuntu can just vumbuka and just wake up and feel sad without any triggers. That is how depression is. It just creeps up. So it just creeps up on you, and you don't expect it. You really don't expect it. You don't expect it. You just wake up and you just don't want to do anything. And with me, this started at a very young age, at an age whereby people didn't really understand it. When I was still really young, I was just in grade 4, right? And I didn't even know what was going on until I started seeing a psychologist. I didn't know. I didn't know why I was so angry. I didn't know why I was so sad and why I just didn't want to get through life. Dealing with that itself was overwhelming, and then also dealing with the fact that nobody understood, whether it be friends, educators, family, and people around you, because people will always be like, you're young, you are young, what do you have to stress about? What are your worries? What's going through your head? Like, you don't have problems, you're a kid, go play, and it wasn't even about that, and it's still not about that. I remember there was a time when I was admitted into hospital, a psychiatric hospital, because of it, and some lady, we had art therapy. Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite ones. Like, I loved it. If anyone knows, you guys know I'm an art fanatic. That's what I do. That's my spillion. But yeah, we were at art therapy, and this lady was like, she said this in Spanish. What are these kids doing here? Like, what are you doing here? You don't have stress. You're kids. I remember the nurse even they were like, you know what? This is why we divide adults and teenagers, because of the lack of understanding. Because as a teenager, I feel like it does hit you harder sometimes. You know, it hits you harder because nobody understands. Even as a kid, nobody really understands why you're sad or what's going on. And you as a person can't even explain it, you know. And for a while, I couldn't explain it at all, from primary school to high school. And I think high school, not I think, I know, high school was my peak. It was a point in my life, a very, very dark point in my life, where I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I'll just see posts and people would be like, dog, why are you posting such dark things? And I would be like, I just relate to it, you know? And that was something I would often do. I'd post these dark things, not knowing that it's taking such a toll on me, until I was in grade 9. And guys, high school. If you had a good high school experience, thank God for you. Just be like, I am blessed. Because being in high school, nevertheless, being in an all girls school with girls that base their lives off material things, that base their lives off bringing other people down to feel good about themselves, is the bottom. It is the bottom. And that's what I experienced. And I don't even have the words for it. I don't have the words for it. I was just in a very toxic environment. And I hated it. I hated it so much. And it came to a point where I'd even make excuses to not go to school. And I wouldn't talk about it. Which, number one, first problem with dealing with depression, not talking about it to anyone. I didn't talk about it to my mom, to my siblings, to my friends. Nobody knew what I was going through. And nobody knew how difficult it was and why I didn't want to go to school. It was a constant fight with my family. Why? You're scared of school. And I was like, I am scared of school. As a matter of fact, I'm scared of school, y'all. I don't like it, but I didn't express it, you know? And it was to a point where I got to a point where I couldn't really hide that I wasn't okay. I'd start having anxiety attacks at school. At some point, I'll just disappear for a month and people would be like, where's Larato? Kante Larato is in hospital because of her corp. And that happened like 4 years in a row, where I was constantly getting admitted because there were points in life where I didn't want to carry on. Countless points in life where I didn't want to carry on. And you know what? The one thing I like about myself, and what this experience has taught me, and what it's still teaching me, is that it made me selfless to a point where I didn't want that for someone else. I don't know, it gave me this sixth sense. Because even at school, even if I didn't know someone, I'll just go to them and I'll be like, let me give you a hug. And that's really the point of this video. Being nice, guys. Being nice to everyone. People are just so... People are mean, man. And I don't understand why. And that is something that I've just never understood. Why anyone would just wake up and decide that they're not going to be nice. And yeah, this is a song that I will continue singing about being nice, whether you know what someone is going through or not, because that was an experience that I didn't have. People would constantly judge me for being sad, and they didn't try and stop to figure out and just be like, okay, let's talk, dog, what's up? And I came to a realization that talking to a stranger was so much better, because they don't have the background to your life, and because they don't have the background to your life, they can't judge you. And that's something I had the blessing to experience while I was in hospital. I'd meet these amazing people, and it was even better because I could relate to them, you know. And in this hospital, they teach us how to deal with depression and anxiety, and how to face your shit with your chest, you know, and that you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself just because you're depressed. And that's something my psychologist would always say to me, that don't be embarrassed, and it's not your fault. I didn't wake up and say, I want to be sad today. No, I'll just wake up and I'll just be sad, whether there was a reason or not. And for a while, nobody understood that. And I feel like till today, nobody really understands that. But there are a handful that are more educated on it. And I am so happy about it. And I'm so happy that we've reached a point in life where people are more aware of depression and mental illness and suicide, and that it is the norm today, unfortunately. The one thing that is not changing, though, is the remarks people make. And listen, the remarks that people make are triggers. That's something that a lot don't understand. That what you say, when you say that, oh, I got 60% today, I want to die. Or, oh my gosh, he cheated on me, I'm going to commit suicide. When you say that, and I'm not saying that your problems are less, or that anyone's problems are less. It's just about being careful about what you say. Not because you feel sorry for someone, not because you feel like you need to sugarcoat something, mainly because you never know what someone is going through, and you never know whether someone is contemplating on taking their own life, you know. And throwing banter about depression, it's not cute, guys. I don't understand who told you or who told who that it's okay to joke around about that. It's not. It's really not. And that's definitely something that needs to be adjusted in our society. And I feel like high schools as a base, whether it be public or private, they need to do better. High schools need to do better. Primary schools need to do better when it comes to bullying, when it comes to mental awareness, and just let learners and educators. That's also something I struggled with a lot. It is a thing of educators. Like, you're old, but you're not even trying to educate yourself. It's a thing of pride. You don't want to educate yourself upon recent or current issues around you. So the way you deal with it is completely wrong. I know I'd have anxiety attacks at school and it wouldn't particularly be handled well. There was this one educator though, and I'll forever be grateful for her, when I was having an anxiety attack in the bathrooms, and she would come at some point before another one came, and she would take it easy. She'd be gentle. And that is all someone needs. That's literally all that is needed with someone that is going through it. Being gentle and being understanding of someone's circumstances, and not pinpointing it. Guys, if you see someone with scars on their arms or on their legs or anywhere, don't pinpoint it to a point of, you have scars. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? What you're doing is wrong. It's stupid. Nah. And especially with that, don't make it a group discussion when you're with friends, because I myself know, for one, that it was a very difficult journey trying to hide all of this and trying to justify it. But at some point in my life, I was like, I don't need to justify why I do this and this, or why I feel like this and this, especially if you don't mean shit to me. And especially if you haven't even been nice to me. I was like, I got to a point where I was like, child, child, who do you think you is? I don't need to explain myself to you. And I don't need to tell you why I was always sad in high school. I don't owe it to you. No one owes you anything whatsoever. So when you see someone and you're aware of the fact that they're dealing with whatever, don't put the attention on that. Don't put them on the spot like that. Because that itself is a trigger, guys. That itself is a trigger. I really just feel like people need to be more understanding. People need to be more open-minded about this whole issue. And I say this because mental illness and depression is something that has definitely peaked during this time, in this period of COVID-19. I have seen it myself with people around me, with friends, with even family. Even though they don't speak about it, you can still identify that lo muntu uyagowisha, like it's tough. Guys, basically the point that I'm trying to get to is be nice to people. Be careful of what you say in front of people, especially when it comes to this kind of conversation or this topic. Yeah, I just wanted to make this short. Like, basically, if you're dealing with any sort of difficulties, journal it down, write it down, guys. Somehow write poetry, write a journal, something to just let it out if you don't have anyone to talk to. And if you're a viewer and you want to talk, do not be scared to talk to me. I know the ins and outs of this. I've lived it with my entire life. But yeah, don't be scared to talk to me if you feel like you'd like to. And find ways to just not to think about it and try avoiding your problems, but something that can distract you. Take a walk. And if you're a girl, please walk with someone, because these men, we live in South Africa, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, that is it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join the gang, join me hunnies, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.